Okay, in the previous video we noted that the new document which I created, this is the one which I created after I put in the payment method for this vendor, is not being included in the successful payment list. It is listed in the failed payment list, which is in red color, which is also known as exception list. Okay, I go in here. Here's the one. We need to find out what is the reason it is not being included in the successful payment list. The successful payment list is with a green color, but this document is successfully selected by the system for payment. The only difference between this document, the document number ending with 13 and the document number ending with 15, is that in document number 13, which is a successful one, I have directly assigned the payment method of X here, right? See, payment method of X. However, in the unsuccessful document, the new document I created does not have the direct assignment of payment method. Let me take you to the screen here. Okay, let me go to the successful payment document, which is ending with 13. I'll show you where it is mentioned as X in the payment method field. This is a FB03 screen. Just key in the document number and press enter, and then you will get these two lines. Double click on the vendor line item, double click. You will notice the payment method has been directly assigned in the document level. Although we have a payment method assigned at the vendor level, I have also assigned at the document level for this document. Let me check the other document, which is ending with 15. This is the unsuccessful one. Let me show you once again. I go back to the unsuccessful list, this one, and take a look at the document number 15. So let me zoom into the document number 15 over here, press enter, and then you get two lines again. Double click on the first line, which is a vendor line, and notice the payment method is not assigned at the document level. Okay, therefore it's not shown here. But bear in mind, this should not be the main reason why this document is not selected for payment, because SAP says that as long as you have assigned the payment method at the vendor level, vendor master level. I'll show you. Let me go to vendor master. Okay, as long as it has been assigned at the vendor master level, it's already assigned for this vendor, this document 15 should have been selected for payment, but it's still not selected for payment for some reasons. So how to find out what is the reason is that? Very simple. Just copy this vendor, go back, come to the main F110 screen, go here. You need to paste the vendor here so that additional logs will be generated for this payment run. Currently, if you don't put this vendor account number here, if you go to the payment log, the information shown in the payment log is not good enough for us to find out what is the reason that document number ending with 15 is not selected for payment. So if you double click, you'll get the long text. It's not descriptive enough for us to understand the reason. If you double click here, nothing is descriptive, all are short. The most informative long text I can find is this one. This is the most informative one, but then again it's not informative enough for me to understand why the document ending with 15 is not selected for payment. So there is a big difference. If you assign the vendor number here, the payment log will become more meaningful and more descriptive, so that we can analyze it and find out what is the reason the payment is not selected. Let's do it now, but currently you can't assign the vendor number here because it's read only mode. You need to delete this proposal. Go to proposal and delete it. Then you come back here and then assign the vendor number. Alright, now I'm going to select this payment method selection if not successful. Alright, I'm going to save it, because otherwise if you select this, the additional log will be written for all the documents which are successfully selected for payment. So we are not interested to see the detailed log for documents which are successfully selected for payment. So otherwise the log will be very long. So we only want to check the log for those documents which are not selected, which are unsuccessful. Okay, that's the reason I'm ticking on this. We have entered the vendor number, save it. Now let's run the proposal again, see what is the difference. Okay, it's done. You have to press the status button again and make sure these buttons are appearing. Then you stop and go to proposal. You see you have a longer list of additional log. You see this detail log here. Each para is for a document. Okay, so it is telling more information for us. Let's check now. Okay, where's our document number? Let me check this. Okay, 15 is our document number, right? Now let us check this log. It's checking whether the terms of payment is within the range and all that, and it's also calculating the cash discounts, saying cash discount is valid until 11th of July. Item is due, so due date determination is okay. Then come down here, let's look at the payment method selection. Okay, let me go back here. I'm trying to find the amount. Just hang on, I'm still trying to find the document ending with 15 so that we can check the log. But I tell you what, this is very difficult for us to go through line by line to locate the document that number that we want to check. So let us do a trick here. Go to free selection. I'm going to filter by the document number which is of our interest. Let me copy the document number first. I'm not interested to see the detail log for all these documents. I'm only interested to see this one. So I'm going to copy this. I right click, and if you right click, you'll get this pop-up menu. Just copy text, go back again, come to free selection. Oh, it is great again. So I need to delete this proposal, delete it, go to free selection and paste it. So you get the entire line, paste it here. Just delete all these things. All you want is only the document number. So what will happen is that it will filter only for this document number, so it's easier for us to check the additional log. Let's run it again. Alright, done. I go to proposal. See now, the additional log is very short. It's only written for this document number, and the due date is okay. There's no error reported in the due date determination. Let's get a payment method selection. One more thing you need to bear in mind, that let me go back here, go to proposal, double click here. You see this, no valid payment method found. So the error is only on the payment method. So that's why I'm ignoring the due date determination logs, because there's no error report on a due date determination. So you can safely assume that the due date determination is alright. So just jump to payment method selection, because the error lies within the payment method selection. The $100 is shown as $97 because of the cash discount was $3. So what is effectively be paid is $97. So that's why it's shown as $97 here. Payment method X is being checked, and payment amount is not within the limits allowed. Okay, now we know what is the problem here. Okay, this is the error. You see this line here? Payment amount is not within the limits allowed. So somewhere you are specifying the lower and upper range of the limit, and this amount, our payment amount, is not falling within this range. That is the reason the payment method is not permitted. Okay, this is the error. So let us check where this range is specified now. Let me go to FB ZP. You know about this T code, right? FBZP. FBZP is the centralized control center where you can find all the 6 automatic payment program configuration steps. So you don't have to go to the SPRO menu one by one. That is cumbersome. Just come here with a shortcut, and you can go to each and every configuration step relevant for the automatic payment run. So let me take you to the place where we specify the minimum and upper range. This is here. Once again, it is under payment methods and company code. Click on it. Our company code is Sun. Select X. Click on it. So this is the place where the minimum and upper range is specified for the payment method selection. So all you have to do, you have to make sure that, come back here, let me go to that, where's our, sorry, not this one, not, let me just close this. Okay, where is it? Yep, here. Just make sure you enter a range where this amount can be included. Alright, let me go here. I'm going to enter $5 and a maximum amount of $10,000. So as long as the vendor outstanding amount falls within this range, 5 and 10,000, the automatic payment program should select that particular document for payment. Let us save it. Go back now, leave it there, and come back here and delete it and run it now. Okay, it's done. Let me check the proposal. See, it's green now. You're not seeing all the other documents because I filtered only for, remember, I filtered only for this document for simplicity. So now it's green. So the document number 15, sorry, ending with 15 is included for payment now. Double click. So there are no errors here. So it means it's successful. Sounds good. Let us check the log now. What is written in the log? Okay, as usual, just ignore the due date. No problem with the due date. Posting documents additional log. So it doesn't report any error. It shows how the double entry is going to look like. If I do a actual payment run, this is how the double entry will be generated. Alright, so we have solved the problem, okay, with that document. But now the pertinent question now is, let me ask you this question now. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to go to field selection. I'm going to erase this off and save it and run it again, so that all the documents are selected. And I'm going to the proposal list. I'm going to ask you one thing. Why? Okay, our document is over here. You can see more than one document is selected for payment because all of these are falling within the range of 5 to 10,000. That's why I selected. Okay, let me ask you something. Okay, right, just now this document, the one ending with 13, is also having a amount of $100, but this document was included in the successful payment even though the minimum and upper range was 0. I need to recap your memory. Let me go back. Let me remove these things first. I'm going to put it back, only then I can recap. Okay, I'm going to erase this off. Right, I'll come back here. I'm going to delete and rerun it. Okay, we go back to the original state before we fix this problem, because there's something I need to explain to you. You see this, it's the original state, right, whereby our document number 15 was not selected for payment, whereas this document number was selected for payment. So what is so special about this document? Because this amount is also $100 and this amount is also $100. But just now I explained to you the reason why this document was not selected is because this amount does not fall within the range specified, right? But how come this document amount, which is also $100, is being selected for payment? So it doesn't make sense, right? Because if you look at the minimum and upper range, it is set to 0, so therefore it's throwing an error for this, because this $100 doesn't fall within the range. Okay, the reason for this is because for this document the speciality is I have assigned the direct payment method at the document number level. So when you do that, when you assign a direct payment method at the document number level, then this checking will not be done by the system. The checking of minimum upper range will not be done for the particular document, because you have assigned the payment method directly at the document level. Whereas for this document, I have already shown you earlier, the payment method is not assigned at the document number level. So to prove this theory, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to leave this minimum upper range 0, and I'm going to assign a payment method directly to this document number and run the payment proposal and see if this theory is true or not. Okay, let's do it now. I'm going to go to document number 15. Right, change it X. So I have assigned the payment method directly into the document number 15. So let's see what's the difference now. And I'm going to leave the minimum and maximum payment amount as 0. Right, 0. So I save it, I quit. Now let's come back here. I'm going to delete this off and go back one more step. Yep, I'm going to delete this off. Delete it. I'm going to run the payment proposal. Refresh. Yeah, done. Proposal. Sorry, I've gone to the log. Proposal. See this? Both the document number 15 and 13 is successfully selected for payment, because I have assigned payment method of X directly at the document number level. So the system skips checking the minimum and upper range at the company code level. This is a simple trick, but I do not recommend you to do this, because otherwise this is not the right way. Even though it can solve the problem, then if you want to suggest this to your user, then there will be a lot of work for them to remember to enter the payment method directly in the document, whereas the actual logic should be, as long as you have maintained a payment method at the vendor master level, you don't have to specify the payment method at the document level, unless if you want to choose a different payment method at the document number level than the one specified in the vendor level. For example, in the vendor level, if you have specified X, and if you want to specify some other payment method at the document number level belonging to this vendor, you can do so. So during that kind of situation, instead of changing the vendor master payment method, you change the document master payment method here, right, in the FB03. That's the only purpose of directly assigning the payment method at the document number level. If the document number payment method and vendor master payment method is going to be the same, then you don't have to specify the payment method at document number level. Just leave it empty and make sure the vendor master is assigned with the correct payment method, and the document number will automatically inherit the payment method specified at the vendor master level. Alright, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to enter, double click here, change. I've removed it. Let me also remove it for 13. Double click, yeah, change and remove it. Obviously, if I run now, since the minimum and upper range is empty, both these documents are going to be listed under unsuccessful payment method selection. Okay, I'll show it to you now. Delete it. Now run it. See, it's gone into the unsuccessful list, these two. So all I have to do, instead of specifying the payment method at the document number level, I go here. This is the correct way of doing it. Just specify an upper and lower range, and that will solve the problem. $5, 10,000, for example. It depends on the customer how you want to specify. You can even enter $1 here. So long as the document amount falls within the range, the payment should be successful. I'm going to delete it and I'm going to rerun it. Status, proposal, yep, is here now. 13 and 15, and also all the other documents which falls within the range I specified. Right, see, the payment method is not directly specified in the document number level, it is taking it from the vendor master level. So this should be the proper way. And bear in mind, if you face any problem, if you face any unsuccessful list, right, if any documents are put under the unsuccessful list, and then if you come to this, if you double click and come to the small window here, if the error message shown here does not give you a hint on what is the problem with this document, all you have to do is that come to the additional log and enter the respective vendor here, so that you can get a detailed log as to why the problem is happening without specifying this. And one thing, you have to check all these 3 check boxes or so, only then the log will be written, otherwise the log will not be written. And this is also very important. Okay, if you check these check boxes and don't enter the account number here, the log will be shorter also, which will be not useful for us. So make sure you enter the vendors which are problematic. Okay, now let us do a, let me just check. Yeah, I got a successful payment. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to do an actual payment run, so that we can make sure the postings are done. Before that, let me open up the vendor account, so that we can compare and contrast the difference between the proposal run and payment run. Okay, accounts, this one, yeah, this one, open items as of 3rd of July. But my posting date is as of, let me just check the date. So posting date is 27th of June, so let me just change it. Then I'm going to go to 27th, sorry, I forgot the date. It is, let me just copy easier. Okay, 27th of June. Okay, I'm going to select all the open items as of 27th of June, and I can see these two documents which are being tested now. It is shown as outstanding, open. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is that this is before you run the payment run, right? Actual payment run. Now let us run the payment run. Now we are at the proposal stage. So since I've already told you that at the proposal stage no double entry postings or GL account postings are done. It's only a simulation kind of thing. So these things are still outstanding. So only after you do a actual payment run, the postings will be made. Let us do it now. Same thing, just click this start immediately and click OK. Right. Posting orders 1 generated, 0 completed. Alright, let us look at this log, payment log. This is how the postings generated. Let me take you to another report. Payment list. Okay, go to this payment list, click OK. It will show you a report on how the payment is made. See, the 13 and 15 has been made. I mean, sorry, the 13 and 15 document have been paid. This is the vendor number, vendor name. Alright, and this is a report summary. Okay, the total amount paid is 694. Okay, this is the document amount, this is the actual payment amount, and cash discount column. The total invoice amount is $100 because you have a cash discount of $3. What you are paying actually is $97. That's how you have to read this. Sounds good. And yeah, that's a main thing you have to see. Right, let us go and check the accounts now. If I'm going to refresh this, I'm going to refresh, you can refresh it, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to quit and then come back again, and then you see all the documents which are listed here is cleared, meaning that it's paid. So it's no longer displayed as open. See, so if you want to check all the paid ones, you just go to all items, or even cleared items will do, and execute. You can see our 13 and 15 over here under the cleared list. This is a cleared list, green color. It's already been paid. Alright, and the ones not paid is these two. The reason being that this is in Canadian and British pounds, so we have not specified the payment method for these two currencies. Bear in mind, the payment method is always by currency. The payment method X that we have defined is actually meant for currency USD. Let me show you that. Go to payment methods in country. Right. Sun and bank accounts. Alright, see here, let me just check. Go to Sun, banking order, alright, see here, payment method X. For USD I specified the account, but for GBP and Canadian dollar I have not specified any account, bank account. So that is the reason it has not paid these documents which are in foreign currency, Canadian and GBP, because the reason being I have to specify, I need to create 2 more lines here with the payment method of X and the currency of GBP and Canadian, and specify which house bank I'm going to use to pay the Canadian and British pounds. Only then the system will make payments to the foreign currency documents. Okay, that's for your explanation. But since this is in USD, it has been paid. Okay, you can have a look. See this clearing document column here. When you run the automatic payment run, this is the document which is posted. Okay, this is the document number which is posted, and therefore this you can see that this document number is listed here in the clearing document to explain that these 2 documents were paid using this payment document. Okay, if you zoom into this payment document, let me see if I can zoom in. Yep, I can zoom in here. This is the document generated by the automatic payment run. Alright, let me just go to the payment list. Right, go back here, payments log. Yep. Alright, you can see here, this is the payment log, right? It says it credited this account here, 7000 cash discounts account by $6, correct? And let me check what is this. Okay, and it has, this is a debit sign, it has debited this account, okay, with the posting gate 25 for $700. That's what you can see here. And outgoing clearing account is credited 694, and exchange rate difference is 0. This is automatically generated by system. Let's inspect the posting now. Okay, this is the document generated. See, in the payment log the document number is also mentioned, 20000 has been posted, right? So you can see that's a document here. So this document has been used to, let us go back, to settle all this four, five documents here, all are having the same clearing document. Alright, let us check why it's showing as document type of ZP. You know why is the document type which is used for this document is ZP? It is because of our configuration. Let me remind you where we have specified that. Come here, not here, sorry, it's in the country level, payment methods in the country level, over here, there, document type for payment, we have specified ZP here, right, for X. So that is the reason the system has used, sorry, not here, here, ZP document type, right, to generate this document. If you look at the document type ZP, the document number range assigned is 2 series. You can also check that if you are interested. Let me just prove it to you. It will be interesting to note that. I need to do a search. If you are wondering how the document number range is determined as 2 series, it is because it's taking from the document type. It is good to understand this. Document type, Okay, define document types. Okay. Okay, let's position to ZP, payment posting, and number range 20. To check number range, go click here, company code Sun, annual +0, go to 20. See this, and 20 series, and come to 2009. The interval number is 20 and the year is 2009, because the financial year that you are posting is 2009, right? So that also matters. See, the first document number has been posted, that's why it's shown as current number. So that's how the system determines the document number range. It's using the document type ZP, right? Because for this document type you have specified the number range to be, number range code is 20, and the number range code for 20 is starting at 2 series for year 2009. That's what we check here. Let me close this. It's good to understand the links behind it, how the system generates a document type and how the system generates a document number series and so forth. Let me see what else I can show you. Oh yeah, that's one more thing, how the system determines this GL account 20008. Let me take you to the document again, zoom in, go to overview. This is cash discounts. Okay, we can understand that this GL account is taken from the cash discounts configuration, because we are enjoying a cash discount of $6 automatically, so this is posted. And the vendor account, we know how the vendor account is selected because we have specified this in the F10 screen parameters. And exchange rate difference is also determined from the configuration, as you know. But the only thing that might puzzle you is that where this GL account is coming from, how the system knows that this should be the GL account to post the offsetting entries to. Very simple, let me show you. Go to FBZP, go to house banks. In the house banks, the GL account shown is GL account tied to this house bank 1000, because this is the house bank that we use, right, to make the payment. One more time, this house bank, it is not stated here in the log, but this is a house bank which is used to make this payment. We have already checked in other logs, but the GL account specified is 20000 account, but what is posted to is 20008. So where does this 20008 is coming from? It is not from this screen, it is from another screen here. Let me take you to that screen. It's in the bank determination. Go to Sun company code, bank accounts, here bank sub account. This is where the system is taking the GL account to post the amount to. This is because of the bank reconciliation requirement. Since we don't know that the payment that sent to the vendors is presented to the bank for clearance, let's assume that we have sent this payment to the vendors by check, by way of check. Until and unless the checks are presented to the bank by our vendors, this amount will not be deducted from our bank account. So it will be very difficult if you use the 20000 GL account, which is tied here. Let me take you through there. If you are going to use this GL account to make the payment to, logically you can do so, logically you can use this account, nothing stop you to do so, to make the offsetting postings here. But the problem is you will not know how many checks are sent to the vendors and not yet presented to the bank yet. So by putting this amount to a separate GL account, you can actually control which of the checks have been presented to the bank and which are not. So you know for a fact that this has been sent to the vendor. The moment it is presented to the bank by the vendor, that particular check will be deducted from this GL account, I mean the check amount will be deducted from the GL account and then moved to this GL account during the bank reconciliation. That is the reason we are using two different GL accounts even though it is for the same house bank. So to keep a control on how many checks have been sent to the vendors and how many are not presented to the bank yet. Okay, we will see in detail the purpose of this clearing account, bank clearing account, in detail in the bank reconciliation topic. Okay, now don't worry too much about it, just bear in mind that this GL account is taken from the setting here, the bank determination in the FBZP. Okay, I think I have explained all. Let me just do a quick recap. Is there anything that I need to explain to you? And this printout is if you want to print any checks to be sent to the vendor. Right now that the postings have been updated into the GL account, we can actually do a printout if you are printing checks from this automatic payment run, or if you are generating an electronic file to be sent to our house bank to make the actual debits or credits into our bank account at the bank. Then you need to do certain configuration to generate the electronic file from this payment run, and then you can email it to your bank or upload it to their bank's website to do the actual payment. So this will cover in the expert training, because these are very detailed and advanced topics which are not within the scope. Just bear in mind that that can be done. Alright, so that's about it.